In here, I don't care how much weed you smoke, I don't care how much alcohol you drank. If you come inside of Shiloh Baptist Church, we gonna put our arms around you because we've been there and we know what it's like to go through hell. So no matter how dirty you have been, we are gonna welcome you. Is there anybody that can shout? I'm gonna welcome whoever. Watch. All of this happened because he wanted stuff. Okay, young people, I need y'all to pay attention. I got a purse. I don't carry purses. All man up here, don't do it. And then I got another little Coach purse. And I got a fake pair. Back in the day, y'all call them skippers and bobos. Down south, we call them cookbooks. Old pair of cookbooks. And I got a old pair of Jordans. So what happens is that the son says, Daddy, I want some money because the kids at Chester High, everybody got Jordans. So I need a pair of Jordans. Daddy, I'm trying to contemporize this. Daddy says, son, I want to get you some Jordans, but the money that I make at the factory, I'm only able to get you some shoes. School getting ready to start, so I'm trying to help y'all. Mama, I want that Coach purse because these girls got these purses, and everybody in my class that I hang with, they got a Coach. Mama says, well, baby, I've been waiting tables, and I've been working in certain places, so I'm not able to get you a Coach. All I can get you is just a regular purse. But Mama, I want the one with the name on it. So here's what happens. The boy says, Daddy, give me money so I can go get stuff. Now I'm going to teach right in through here. School's getting ready to start. And there are some kids in their mind, man, I got to get them Jordans. I got to get them Jordans. So we'll wait outside the Jordan line for 3 hours for a $150 pair of shoes for our kids, but we get tired when we come in church. We'll sit through a Tyler Perry play for 3 hours, but yet when we come in church, we got to pee every 30 seconds. It's Youth Sunday, so I'm talking like I want to talk. If you got cell phones, you may want to record right about now. So here it is. Right now, school's getting ready to start, and there are parents that are breaking their backs because they can only afford this. But they're breaking their backs to try to get these to prove to their children that they should be able to get these. But here it is, young babies. Sometimes this is all mama can afford. And what sense does it make to have the jacked up ones on or the fancy ones on and you can't spell? Our mindset is that if I get Jordans, that means that I can fit in with the in crowd. But if you show up to school with these, all of the kids are going to make fun of you and talk about you. Here's the crazy part. Both these and the shoes, none of the children can afford because they don't have jobs anyway. But yet, we will come. I'm saying this because I had to live this. I would not teach y'all anything that I haven't lived. 1984, freshman in high school, I walked inside of a school. This was the first year that Jordans really became popular. I'm about to blow your mind. Jordans were $35 a pair. Now, nowhere even close. Red, white, and black vintage Jordans were $35 a pair. All of the people that I was connected to had the Jordans. I had on some cookbooks. I walk inside the school, and the kids like, man, what you got on your feet? Because in the mindset of children, we've bred them to believe that they're better than because they got a different pair on. Can I really shout you? It's the same thing in church. We figure because we got on a suit that we're better than the person that's got on jeans and a shirt. So what happens is that you got a mama right now, school's getting ready to start. I've been on Amazon, and on Amazon they're $250. I'm not going to be able to do this, so I'm just going to have to break it to my baby that I'm not able to afford it. And the arrogance that has been bred in our children based on television and social media, mama, I'm not going to wear them. Well, it looks like you're going to be barefoot because I'm not about to spend $250. But because, and I can't say it on the microphone because people will get offended, but because we are so materialistic, we think that this makes us better than anybody else. God does not look at the Jordans. God does not look even at the cookbooks. God looks at the heart. But we're so busy promoting it. So what happens is there's a mom and a dad right now that's working extra shifts so they can get their son or their daughter a pair of J's. Here's the thing, young people. If they do get you these J's, act like you got some sense when you walk in them. Notice it got quiet because we don't want to tell our kids anything because we're scared. Kids don't run the house. Parents run the house. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But in our quest to get Jordans, in our quest to get red bottoms, in our quest to get Manolos, we're willing to dog out anybody just so we can say we have. Dr. Umar said, he said this before, I quoted him from 10 years ago. He said, because most of us are not millionaires and we don't have that type of money in the bank, we will go after the stuff that we think makes us look like millionaires. I've been there. I had a $800 Cutlass Supreme. Wasn't worth a quarter, but I had a $4,000 system in it. Because when I went up the street, I needed everybody to hear boom, 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 because it sounded like somebody in the trunk trying to escape. But in my mind, I thought that made me somebody. So when these children walk into school on the first day of school, they'll have these on, but they'll try to walk slow so nobody sees them. Do not be ashamed of who you are. Your parents are doing the best that they can. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But we have completely brainwashed our children to say silly stuff. I don't wear anything but the best. If we in Chester, like all of us are, most of us, some of us are, the best ain't sold in Chester. Watch, and if somebody else got it, chances are it's not the best anyway. Oh, mine is different. When they made your top, they made it in small, extra small, medium, smedium, large, extra large, tank, big bone, thick, and just blah. But we think that makes us better than. Watch, the same material that's made from this shoe is the same material that's made in this shoe. The only difference is the stitching. If anybody's ever been in the military, you know, if you've ever been to Korea, we sit there and we watch them. I know we watched them be made. Same thing, but because our minds have been brainwashed, we'll say, well, I don't want that because that's not the best. I want Jordans. Okay, let's venture over here. I've got a Coach purse and I've got a Roach purse. So what sisters do, young ladies, what sisters do is that when they have some, not all, when they have just a regular purse, they'll come in and they'll sit down and because they don't want nobody to know. But when some sisters get a brand new purse, they got to make sure that instead of carrying it a regular way, they got to put it up where everybody can see it. Look at what I got, y'all. Look at what I got. So we brainwashed our young ladies to think that if you don't have red bottoms or you don't have a Coach, that makes you less of a woman. No, baby, it does not make you less of a woman. Because here is the thing. Your father and your parents can provide a whole bunch for you in your childhood. Mess around and get out on your own and mama and daddy die. Guess what? You may not be able to afford all the stuff that you think you need. Because here it is. I know I hear y'all talking, well, Rev, you got to understand, I ain't come to church because I know I'm supposed to dress up for church. Who told you that? But our brains have been brainwashed to think that that's how we're supposed to come. So if I can come in and let everybody see the tag on my Jordans, if I can let everybody see the purse and literally let them know that it's a Coach purse, they're going to look differently at me and it'll elevate me. I'm so sick of bougie people, I don't know what to do. I'm saying this, well, Rev, I'm used to preachers wearing suits. I got on a black Wall Street shirt. It was $20. My jeans was $12. The Jordans I got were donated, praise the Lord. But on the same flip token, I've got custom-made suits out of people that y'all never heard of when I lived overseas in Italy, but that don't make me. The same way I walk in with a suit is the same way I walk in with my pants and my shirt on, because the same God that helped me get the suit is the same God that helped me pay for the little old shirt. So what happens is that we fail to realize how this stuff is even made. Right now, down in Kentucky, where I'm from, there's a cow that's eating grass. And in the middle of that cow eating grass, you're going to hear, And about 24 hours later, they're going to hit the cow with a poison in its back leg, or they're going to blow the cow's head off. And then they're going to take that cow meat, and they're going to take out the steak and the ground beef, and they're going to package it up and give it to us in the grocery store and sell it to us. And then they're going to take the rest of the skin and take off all the flesh and put it through a dryer a few times. They're going to bleach the inside. They're going to put other chemicals to keep it sturdy. And then they're going to send it to a factory where there's people that are working illegally, only getting paid about 25 cents an hour. They're going to put it on a sewing machine. They're going to put designs on it and say, Coach. And you're going to grab it thinking, I got a Coach. I'm better than anybody. No, you're not. It's a hard pill to swallow. And the reason why, because once we as a people stop trying to live like the prodigal son. The word prodigal means excessive. The word prodigal means boisterous, flamboyant. He did not just want money. He wanted money so he could come into Shiloh and look down on people as if he was better than anybody else. And he says, you know what? You go ahead and take that money because I know you're going to be back. Young people, many of us older people have been down some roads y'all have never been down. Hear me. Never been down. And many teenagers, we love y'all, but get the I know out of your head. You know, you got to, I know. You don't know. You don't know. And see, I grew up old school. I had one of those abusive systems in my family. If I told my parents I was leaving, they would call grandma and say, lock the door. They would call my uncle and say, lock the door. They would call another aunt and say, lock the door. So if he come knocking, talking about I ain't got no place to stay, I really don't have a place to stay. We all have been here. Some of us have been here at one time or another. We figure that because if we put certain things on, and here's the thing, I'm not telling you not to go out and get nice stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't be so addicted to the stuff where you think you better than other people. Because while you're struggling and you're scuffing these up in order to try to get to these, you'll scuff these up and mess the heel up to the point where you start to look down on people because you know where you headed. And then when you finally get a hold of these, when you think you better than anybody else, guess what'll happen? God will wake you up and bring you right back to these. Please don't miss that. The prodigal son is a parable that Jesus used to show us that it's okay to have stuff. Just don't let the stuff have you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We hear people say, man, but you don't know. You get the J's, man, that's what's up. I can go to Harlem right now and get a pair of authentic Jordans for $25. I didn't say how I was going to get them. I'm just telling you they $25. Jesus says that he asked for something that he did not deserve. I gave him something that he did not deserve. He ended up going out getting something that he brought upon himself. And even though he messed up, I still welcomed him into the house. That's what grace is. In these three parables that are in Luke chapter 15, in the first part, it says that she had a coin that was lost. She turns on lights and she goes after the coin. Which one of you, having 99 sheep, leaves the 99 and goes after the one? They go after the coin, they go after the sheep, but the father does not go after the son. Because the father knew something that the son didn't, and that is the world is a cruel place. Now, here's what you don't see. In the parable, there are scholars that suggested that when Jesus says that the prodigal son goes to a far country, it's only 2 miles up the road. Think about this, 2 miles up the road. He wants to get money. He goes into a whole nother town to do whatever it is he wants to do, and it's only 2 miles up the road. Could it be that the father knew he would be back, but he had to allow him to go through circumstances? God has 2 types of wills, permissive will and circumstantial will. Circumstantial will simply says that life happens and we can't do anything about it. Permissive will says, since you think you know it all, go ahead and go. And eventually, you'll come back. All grace is us knowing that we messed up when we decided to go after something we did not need. And because he forgave us and welcomed us back, that's all grace is. But write this down if you're writing. You can't be selfish with grace. That boy in Shiloh, I heard he was dealing dope and he robbed a bank, and they need to bring him before the deacons because that don't make no sense, because he shouldn't be living like that. He's a member of the church and say he know the Lord, until it's their grandson out there selling dope, doing all type of stuff. Then they need prayer. It's awfully quiet in here because that's a vein that I just cut. We cannot be selfish with God's grace. Please do not miss that. So when we shout about grace, we have to remember that last night I messed up, but he allowed me to see another day. 20 years ago I messed up, and he allowed me to even be able to be in my right mind to look back 20 years ago. What that means is that when people come inside church, when our babies are coming in and their minds have been tainted to think that this is all the stuff that they need, my grace is sufficient. Don't miss that. His grace is sufficient. I talk to the kids about this stuff, but let me address the adults. Here's the thing. It's okay if that's all you have. I don't know who that is for, but there are people that are on supplemented income. They can't afford what everybody else has. And again, we want to impose our rules because grandma and grandpa told us that it's good to wear a suit. It is. If I conduct business, I'm going to have on a 3-piece suit with a Nino Cerruti shirt and tie, custom-made Bruno Maggi's. But when I'm preaching to the people of God and I'm trying to bring people in off the street, guess what? You see what I got on? Morally, it's what our parents taught us, and nothing wrong with being dressed up. That's why I said, if you dressed up today, cool. If you're not, cool. And we have to stop giving people black eyes because they're not able to afford what we can afford. 60% of people in here that are not on retirement and still working are 2 paychecks away from being homeless. We don't think about it that way. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Jesus says to the publicans and the Sadducees, he says, if somebody is lost, if you claim to know me like you say you know me, you should be able to go get them and help me. Jesus is not walking the streets of Chester trying to grab people to bring them into church. That's not his job. That's our job. Wait, let me retract that. That's not Jesus's job or my job. That's y'all's job. My job is to preach and teach.